Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Love Advice TV. If this is your first time visiting the channel, welcome. Maybe you stumbled across us searching something specific on YouTube and you have landed here and you're just wondering what this is all about. This is a community, channel that we created to help you through anything you are going through when it comes to relationships, right? So whether you're navigating a difficult relationship, whether you're currently going through a breakup, whether you have already been through a breakup and you're trying to get an ex back, or you're trying to get over them, whatever the case may be, we have created this community and this channel to support you and give you recommendations and strategies and support through this process. My name is Danny, and I am one of the head coaches here at Love Advice TV, as well as the With My Ex Again project and the Happily Committed project. I try to create content based on the most frequently asked questions. So that being said, one of those questions, and the one that I get, I would probably say it's in the top 10, 100%, is what does it mean when my ex calls, right? So if you find yourself in a situation where your ex is calling you and you just don't know what the hell to do, what it means, you're confused, you want to answer, but you're not sure if you should answer because if you do, it might ruin your chances or you might get sucked back in to some kind of emotional hurricane, I empathize with you. I completely understand how difficult that can be, which is why I wanted to create a video around it and what you should do, right? So let's start with the question. What does it mean when your ex calls you? What do, right? Calls, texts, DMs, whatever the case may be. If they try to communicate with you, what does it mean? The first thing that I want to advise, right, or recommend is try your best not to overthink everything. I know that is easier said than done, especially coming from somebody who is third-party observer looking in on the situation, right? But a lot of the stuff that I talk about, a lot of the content that I create is because I've had this experience myself, right? Or I've helped many clients through a very similar situation. So try not to overthink it. If you allow your brain to go to the place of, well, they're calling me because they want to get back together, or they're calling me because they love me, or they're calling me because they hate me and they want to tell me whatever the case may be, do your best to take the situation as is and not try to elaborate on it, create theoreticals, assume all of that stuff. Now, again, like I said, I get that's easier said than done. You know, the human brain is designed to constantly be on the go, constantly thinking, constantly creating words, constantly creating thoughts. So to turn that off is rather difficult. But if you allow yourself to go down the rabbit hole, you may confuse yourself even more. So what are some of the reasons for why exes usually contact you? The first one is because there is an interest, because they do want to open the lines of communication and explore whether there is the opportunity or the option to reconnect. But how do you know if that's what they're looking for, right? Because oftentimes my clients tell me, okay, so my ex texted me and said, hey, how are you? Or what's going on? Or how have you been, right? These very generic responses or messages, they're hard to read, right? You kind of look at them and you say, okay, I think this is a good sign. They're asking how I'm doing, but there isn't really much substance to it. So the thing that I want to recommend is take a look at the relationship, right? When you guys were in a relationship, what were the reasons for the breakup? How severe was the breakup, right? Have you actually processed what happened? Because that'll give you an indication as to what they are potentially trying to do. So for example, if it was not a very clean breakup and it was a difficult one, and they're texting you and saying, hey, how are you doing? It is likely that they're probably just testing the waters. They just want to see how you are going to respond so they know how to navigate and move forward. That being said, for me, if you are still in a process of healing, if you are still really allowing yourself to take in what happened and reflect and rebuild your self-confidence, Messages like that lack substance or quality, it's not worth your time to respond, because most likely what will end up happening is that you will jump in head first, not ready, still dealing with insecurities, try to put on this mask of being completely cool and casual and relaxed like we recommend, and that mask is going to slip at some point, and it will most likely end up in the same circumstance or situation that you are in, or you'll get into a hot and cold dynamic. And that is the last thing that you want to do, because it will destroy any remnants of self-confidence that you have. So if it does not have substance, if they are not reaching out to you and saying, hey, I had some realizations, I would really like to get on the phone with you and talk to you. Would you like to FaceTime? Would you like to meet in person? Would you like to have a conversation? Then it may not necessarily be worth it to get back in that situation. The second reason for why exes have a tendency of calling or texting or whatever the case may be is a little bit more self-serving, right? They may feel bad about the decision that they made. It does not mean that they want to get back together. They just want validation that the decision that they made was the right decision. And if you respond to them and you're acting super cool and nice and relaxed and all of those things, it will further validate for them the reasons for why they stepped away. It'll validate for them that the decision that they made was the right decision. And look, I know how confusing this all can be, because in other videos, we talk about how it is crucial that you are relaxed and casual and all of those things. But those strategies are applicable at specific times, right? After you have already gone through a no contact period, after you have created time and space, after you have really allowed yourself to process and heal to a certain level where you feel confident enough that if you put yourself back in the situation, you are okay with the outcome either way, right? So whether it works or it doesn't, you will not be severely affected by that. So what is the best thing to do in this situation? To be 100% honest, one-on-one coaching session is probably the best option, because if your situation is very specific and you're wanting to time this perfectly and make sure you're following a strategy that's going to get you the results that you want, that's what we're here for. That's what we as a team do here on Love Advice TV and with my ex again, right? So either myself, Coach Natalie, Coach Adrian, Coach Abby, Coach Priyanka, Coach Alex, we are all here to support you through this process. And if you feel like you need more guidance or you feel super confused or lost, I am more than happy to support you. So I would recommend booking a coaching session. The best way to do it is through our website, which is www.withmyexagain.com. Just to make your life easier, I'll just put the link in the description box below so that you can go directly to the coaching page and book your session, so you can start the process of achieving your goals and getting what it is that you want. So if it is getting your ex back and you're in this situation where you feel like, okay, they're contacting me, is now the right time to engage, I'm happy to answer those questions for you. I'm happy to take a look at the situation, break it down, and give you a plan moving forward. In general, right, in these types of situations, you want to make sure that you are staying in control, that you are staying on the pedestal. So again, two reasons for why an ex may be reaching out to you. Number one, it's because there is a general interest, or number two, it's because it's self-serving. And really understanding the details in each one is going to help you to navigate that situation. And I hope the details that I provided for each one will give you a little bit more insight and help you to navigate this a little bit more. But other than that, like I said, the initial contact, the initial outreach, try not to overthink it too much. Try not to come up with all of these situations and theoreticals and assumptions. If you are able to do that, you will put yourself in a position where you are more likely to be able to re-attract your ex. Or hell, if you don't want to re-attract your ex, it will put you in a position where you can really look at it from an objective standpoint and move on from the situation. If you just want more information, right? Like you just want to try to figure this out and try to see if you can navigate this on your own, the website is the perfect platform for you to visit. We have articles and blogs and lives and webinars and trainings. Anything that you might possibly need is at your fingertips at the website. So I would highly recommend heading over that way, checking it out, and seeing if it is something that you would like to dive into. Right. And again, like I said, if you need a one-on-one coaching session, I'm more than happy to help you through that process. Again, my name is Danny. I'm your life and relationship coach. I hope you are staying happy and healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.